How proud are you of your mother?
Honestly, words can't explain how proud I am of her. Really.
In 1998, in a recording studio, a 5-year-old girl leans into a microphone. You can still hear her. 2 words in a small, bright voice right before the music starts.
Sing, Mommy.
And her mother does. Her mother, the greatest voice of her generation, sings a song that's secretly a message to that little girl. A song about a love so strong it survives anything the world can throw at it. A love that outlasts everything, even her. Her name was Bobbi Kristina. She was Whitney Houston's only child. And 17 years after that day in the studio, she would be gone at 22. This is the story of a song that came true in the worst way imaginable. But before we get to how it ended, there's a question I want you to hold on to. Because by the end of this video, half of you are going to believe one thing about why this happened, and half of you are going to believe the exact opposite. So watch, and then tell me which side you're on. This is The Recall. The stories you remember, the truth you never knew.
Being Whitney Houston's daughter can put a lot of pressure on one person. I'm here to prove to the world that I am my own person.
Bobbi Kristina just wanna say, that's her hair.
My baby, my baby, my baby. Thank you so much.
March 4th, 1993. A baby girl is born in Livingston, New Jersey. Now, think about what the world sounded like that exact week. 3 months earlier, The Bodyguard had hit theaters. And I Will Always Love You wasn't just a hit, it was the song. #1 for 14 straight weeks. It was playing in every car, every radio, every shopping mall on Earth.
I just heard this voice come on the radio, like if I should stay. It was like, it kind of rang a bell, but it didn't hit because she was kind of talking it. And then all of a sudden, it went into the I Will Always Love You part, and I had to pull off the side of the road, seriously, to listen to it. But it was one of the most overwhelming feelings I've ever had, to hear that done so well, so beautiful, so big. Had no idea I'd written a song that could be that important.
That was the world Bobbi Kristina was born into. Not a quiet house. The loudest moment in music. She never knew a version of her mother who wasn't a global icon. She never knew a world where that voice wasn't everywhere. From the day she opened her eyes, her mother was the voice. And Whitney adored her. Months after the birth, she sat down with Rolling Stone, a woman who had sung for millions of people, who had every award you could win. And she said,
"She brings me joy when I'm sad. She is my blessing. She is now my reason for living." Really, she is.
Not the fame, not the records, not the Grammys. So the cameras came in early. 8 months old, Bobbi Kristina is in a televised interview alongside her mom. At 1 year old, she's on stage at the American Music Awards while Whitney collects an armful of trophies.
Urban radio, God bless you. No, don't do that.
She grew up in the glare. The spotlight wasn't something she chose. It was the room she was born in. And here's the thing about being raised that high up. The view is incredible, but there's a long way down.
Now, do you like going on the road with your mommy to hear her sing?
Yes.
You do. Do you say yes a lot?
Yes.
1998. Bobbi Kristina is 5 years old. Whitney is making her first real studio album in 8 years. She brings in a young producer, Wyclef Jean, and he writes a song with her family in mind, with her daughter in mind. The song is called My Love Is Your Love.
The way that we came up with the song for Whitney was basically, first I was up at Clive's office, so he played me some new Whitney tracks, and it was like real hot. So the inspiration hit me, you know, so I was like, Clive, how long do I have to come up with a record? He said, yesterday.
Listen to what it's actually about. Strip away the beat, the radio polish, and it's a mother telling someone, "My love belongs to you. It's yours. And no matter what happens in this world, no matter how dark it gets, that love is the one thing they can never take." And Whitney wanted her daughter in it, not just as the inspiration, physically on the recording. So they put little Bobbi Kristina at the microphone, and that's her voice you hear at the start.
Sing, Mommy.
Think about what that is for a second. It's not a love song to a man. It's not a breakup song. It's a mother at the top of the world recording a promise to her child and pressing it onto tape so it would exist forever. Even if I'm gone, my love is yours. You'll never stand alone. She had no way of knowing how those words would land, that 14 years later she'd be gone, and her daughter would be left holding a promise on a record in a world that suddenly had no Whitney in it. The song became one of the defining hits of her later career. Millions sang along. Almost none of them knew they were listening to a goodbye written years too early.
Singer Whitney Houston, one of the greatest voices of our generation, CNN has gotten confirmation from her representative, has died.
February 2012. Whitney Houston is gone, 48 years old.
At 3:43 yesterday afternoon, when a member of Houston's entourage located her body inside this hotel. So far, police and the coroner are refusing to offer details about what may have caused her tragic death.
The world stopped. It was wall-to-wall coverage. Every channel, every front page. A global icon mourned on a global scale. But step out of the headlines for a second. Forget the legend. Somewhere in all of that noise was a 19-year-old girl who had just lost her mom. And not just any mom. The mom whose voice she'd known before she knew anything else. The voice that sang directly to her on a record when she was 5. The one constant in a life lived entirely in public. That voice went quiet. And the silence it left behind was the size of the whole world.
6 months ago, the most important person in my life passed away. People are so quick to judge when they're not in your skin. But it is my mom, and I am grieving in my own way.
Shortly after, Bobbi Kristina sat down with Oprah, and what she said will break your heart. She said she could still feel her mother.
Have you had the visitation? I know some people might think we're crazy, but a lot of people,
Oh, yeah.
get where they actually come to you in your dreams. You've had that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and especially throughout the house. The lights, turn on and off, and I'm like, Mom, how you doing?
Really?
Yeah, we still, I can still sit there and I can still laugh with her. I can still sit there and I can still talk to her.
Wow.
She said she always needed her mom.
She wasn't only a mother, she was a best friend. She was a sister, a comforter. The very last day, I don't know, I went to go get her and I said, Mom, will you just come lay down with me? Just come lay with me. She stayed with me all night and all day. All night and all day. And they said that she was rubbing my head, just holding me, everything. And I slept in her arms all night. All day, all night long.
Wow.
She told the world she wanted to carry the legacy forward. Sing, act, dance, keep her mother alive by becoming her.
I'm gonna, I still have a voice.
Yeah.
I still.
You're gonna sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. She inherited everything. The estate, the name, the legacy, the expectation of being Whitney Houston's daughter, in public, forever. And the same world that had circled her mother, the handlers, the hangers-on, the people who always seem to appear when there's a famous name and a fortune attached to it, that world was still there. It didn't leave when Whitney did. It just turned and looked at the daughter. 3 years. That's how long Bobbi Kristina survived in the silence.
3 years ago, singer Whitney Houston was found dead in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Today, her only child, daughter Bobbi Kristina, remains in a medically induced coma after being found unresponsive in her Georgia home, also in a bathtub.
January 2015. She's found unresponsive in her home outside Atlanta. She's placed in a coma. She never wakes up.
Hi everyone, I'm Allison Harmelin. We have just learned that Bobbi Kristina Brown, the daughter of the late music legend Whitney Houston, has died.
On July 26, 2015, surrounded by family, she passed away. She was 22 years old. And here is the detail that stopped the entire world cold. The circumstances of how she was found, they echoed her mother's final chapter almost exactly. 3 years apart, the same shape, the same ending. A mother and a daughter, the same story told twice. And that's the moment this stops being one tragedy and becomes something much harder to look at. Because two people, born 28 years apart, who loved each other more than anything, somehow walked the same road to the same place. Both lived their whole lives in front of cameras. Both carried the pain the public never fully understood. Both were surrounded by people. And both, in the end, were alone in the way that matters most. She spent 3 years trying to be her mother's legacy. And in the end, she repeated her mother's ending instead. So here's where I need you. Here's the question this whole story has been building to. Why did Bobbi Kristina die? And there are two answers. And which one you believe says a lot about how you see the world. The first answer is grief. That this is simply what a broken heart looks like. That a daughter loved her mother so completely, was so bonded to her, that when that voice went silent, something in her went with it. That no handler, no rehab, no intervention could have fixed it, because you cannot cure missing someone. That she didn't die of anything except losing the one person who was her whole world, a broken heart running its course. The second answer is colder. That grief didn't kill her, people did. That the exact same machine that failed Whitney, the enablers, the users, the ones who saw a vulnerable young woman with $100 million estate and moved toward her instead of protecting her, closed in the second her mother was gone. That this wasn't fate, that it was a cycle, and that somebody, somewhere, could have broken it and didn't. So which is it? Was this a broken heart that nobody could have saved? Or was this a young woman the world failed twice? Once in her mother and once in her. Because if it's the first one, it's a tragedy. But if it's the second one, it's something we let happen. Again. The love that outlasted them both. Here's what I keep coming back to. In 1998, a mother put her 5-year-old daughter on a record and sang her a promise. My love is yours. They can't take it. Even if I'm gone, you'll never stand alone. Both of them are gone now. The mother and the little girl who said, "Sing, mommy," but the song is still here. You can still play it. You can still hear that small, bright voice at the start, frozen at 5 years old, before any of it happened. And maybe that's the only part of the promise that actually came true. Not that the love kept her safe, but that the love outlasted them both. It's still playing. It never stopped. So tell me in the comments, a broken heart no one could heal, or a cycle someone should have broken? I read every one of these. I want to know what you think really happened to her. This is The Recall. Thank you for sitting with this one.